Imagine working your entire life for a promotion and then getting demoted the moment you succeed. That's football, every single year. And it's the reason fans in England care more about a random game in March than Americans care about the Super Bowl. Here's the thing about football leagues that confuses every American the first time they hear it. There's no draft, there's no salary cap fixing things, and the worst teams don't get rewarded with better players next season. They get punished. Let me explain how this actually works, because once you get it, watching football completely changes. In American sports, leagues are closed, 30 teams, same 30 teams every year. Lose every game for a decade, doesn't matter. You're still in the NFL next season. Football doesn't work like that. Picture a giant tower with multiple floors. The top floor is the Premier League, beneath it is the Championship. Beneath that, League One. It keeps going down, floor after floor, all the way to your local Sunday League team playing on a muddy field with 3 fans watching. Every single season, the top few teams on a lower floor get promoted. They move up. And the worst teams on the floor above get relegated. They move down, which means a small club with barely any money can theoretically climb all the way from the bottom to the very top. No other major sport in the world lets that happen. Here's where it gets brutal. Get relegated from the Premier League, and you don't just lose bragging rights, you lose almost everything. Broadcasting revenue alone can be worth over $100 million a season for a Premier League club. Drop down one division and that number crashes. Some clubs have gone completely bankrupt within a few years of relegation. Real historic clubs, gone. That's why the bottom of the table is often more dramatic than the top. Think about that for a second. In American sports, the most exciting games are usually at the top, fighting for a championship. In football, some of the tensest, most emotional matches happen at the bottom, where 3 teams are fighting just to survive. It's not a competition for glory, it's a fight for existence. Now here's a stat that blows people's minds. Since the Premier League started in 1992, only 6 clubs have never been relegated. 6 out of everyone who's ever played in it. Every other club at some point fell. Even giants have fallen. Big famous names have been relegated before. It doesn't matter how big your history is. One bad season and down you go. So why keep this system at all? Why not just protect the biggest clubs like American leagues do? Because promotion and relegation is what makes every single game matter. Imagine if in the NFL the worst team every year got kicked out of the league completely and a college team took their place. Suddenly, even a random Tuesday night game in December becomes must-watch television. Nobody is safe. Nobody can relax. That's the psychological trick. Football forces jeopardy into every match, every week, all season long. There's also a beautiful side to this. Small clubs dream big because of it. A tiny team from a small town can rise, division by division, until one day they're playing against clubs worth billions. It sounds like fiction, but it happens. Fans have watched their local team go from playing in a park to playing in a stadium with 60,000 people screaming their name. That climb, that possibility is why fans stay loyal for life. Your team could be nothing today and something incredible in 5 years. Or the opposite could happen just as fast. Quick recap, because this really is simple once it clicks. Leagues are stacked like floors in a tower. The best teams at the bottom of one floor get promoted up. The worst teams at the top of a floor get relegated down. Promotion brings money, fame, and opportunity. Relegation can bring financial disaster. And that one rule is exactly why football fans obsess over every single match, even in the middle of a boring Tuesday in November. There is no such thing as a meaningless game. Somewhere that game decides whether a club survives or celebrates. If this finally made football click for you, hit subscribe. There's a lot more about this beautiful, chaotic sport that's about to make a lot more sense.